Sweet.
Cool. So, game audios are happening. Are you happy to start?
Yeah, I'm happy to start.
Cool. We're good to go when you are.
Alright. Let's go then. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright guys, got Undertale guys, hype! Alright, so in Undertale, game's pretty broken. Our first monster we run into is Flowey. Flowey is your best friend. There's a lot of mashing to Undertale, so I have to mash in a certain rhythm for the text to proceed faster each time. So I usually mash ZX enter shift or enter shift ZX. That allows the text like this to go faster. So during streams, most times my stream would be loud because my keyboard's just very loud at times. But oh well. So now we're in the ruins, and we're going to go through a tutorial with Toriel. Just, yeah. So I've been running this game for about 3 years now. I first started back in November 2015. Back then the game was relatively new, so there wasn't many glitches or skips found back then. But now that we have an item called the punch card that I'll be getting about 20 so minutes into the run, the punch card breaks the game entirely. So I can skip cutscenes, wrong warp, go out of bounds, do all that sort of fun, neat stuff. Yeah, just... One thing that I can do here is hold up and down on my keyboard, and I will wall grind up against the wall. It doesn't help in any way, but it's just pretty neat. Alright, so here's where we start in the ruins. Now I have a step counter where I get a chance to get an encounter at any point in these rooms. This is completely RNG dependent. At any time I can get an encounter. Some rooms I will get an encounter regardless because the room's too long, like this one. And I can either get a Frogget or a Whimsun. I would like to get a Whimsun foremost because I can instantly spare the monster. When I instantly spare the monster, I can skip past the action fight scene. We don't have to talk to the 3 rocks here, we can just skip past and talk to the bottom one. Have to flee. So you'll notice that the spare icon goes yellow. That means I can spare the monster straight away without having to act. And here we have Napstablook. So for Napstablook I have to act and cheer 3 times to continue onwards. I better make sure I save too. Here we got Blukey with his dapper look. How's your look, everyone? Fantastic. Okay. So any encounters after Napstablook I don't want to get. So there's a slight chance I'll get an encounter, but I couldn't. I fall down the second hole up the top here to hit the switch to continue to the next room. The spikes would be blocking my path otherwise. Now there's hidden switches behind the pillars here. I know where all they are. I think it goes blue, red, green for each rooms. To hit the switch. Ah, bummer. So I don't have to act on them or spare them, I can just simply flee them. And that's the ruins, pretty much. Here I've got Toriel, and I have to go through some more text, interact with Toriel, and then I can fight and surpass the ruins and keep going. In a true pacifist run, we would go into that room there and go sleep on the bed. When we sleep on the bed, you would get the pie. The pie is used for fighting Asgore in... Ah. The pie is used for fighting Asgore and Asriel, which helps lower his defense and attack. But since we don't need that in this run, we don't need to get it. I will later be killing one monster, so it won't be a pacifist run since this is only neutral. In neutral, I just kill one monster to get to level 4 so I can deal a decent amount of damage to Asgore. So this is the tutorial fight. What I'm going to do here is hit a fireball generator that's to the right and take 1 damage. And what I need here is hands. So you saw there I was getting hands, which if I run into them, cancel out the attack faster. Otherwise, if I get the fireballs, I have to wait for her turn to continue. Once I get my HP below 8, I will only take 1 damage per hit then. And once you have 2 HP, she won't attack you anymore. And that's the end of the tutorial fight and the ruins. So I've just got some mashing to go through. That's about it. You get a nice hug from Goat Mum, and then she'll leave. Goat Mum, yes. Oh, hit the mic. That's alright. And that's the ruins. So up ahead we have the snow area where we'll be heading into Snowdon. First we're going to be encountering Flowey again, because Flowey is our best friend, and we love talking to Flowey, of course. Well, I'm sure a lot of people would like talking to Flowey, but I could just skip past him. There you go, guys. That's Undertale. Thanks for watching. I'm out. No. Still, there's plenty more. Pardon? Get any game? Do you have any game audio?
Wasn't time, sorry?
No, it wasn't time, no. Just go. I was just joking, sorry. Just undo.
Should have taken more notice.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what this is for.
Oh, it's been a great day so far. How's everyone doing out there? Good? I'm sure we're going to meet everyone's favorite character here now. Yeah? Oh, good old Sans here. We've got a donation incentive to fight Sans if that is met by the end of the run. So you'll see me do a genocide fight of Sans. I think that'd be pretty interesting to watch, don't you? And here we got Papyrus. Papyrus loves puzzles. I don't. I'll just skip past all of them. Yeah. So here I'm going to do a safety save. Yep. Make sure we save, because I can easily soft lock in this game. So I get there, I get the inventory box, and I get the tough glove. When I equip the tough glove, my default weapon is the stick. So that will be my first item in my item inventory, and I will be using that item to use about 1 cycle on the dog monsters up ahead. So there's a chance here that I can get a phone call, and I didn't get it. That's alright. So there's a phone call that gives you a hint to the missing scientist Gaster. He's not very important in the run. But as you saw there, I used the stick on the doggo, and I was instantly able to spare him afterwards. We use the stick because it's fastest, and we also get gold from the dogs that we will be needing to purchase the ice cream where we'll get the punch card from the ice cream guy. That's it. I forget most of the characters myself in this game because I skip past a lot of them. So you would think that the walls would be pretty aligned back there if you go past the track that Papyrus walked on. It's not actually quite exact. It's pretty open for you to walk around. Here's a puzzle on the floor, but we don't even have to look at it, so we just walk straight past it. Some pasta, but it's frozen, so we can't eat it. In here is a secret switch, or well, not really secret, no, I don't need that. I can just flee. I can just flee less dog because I don't need to spare him. And here I have Dog Eye, the two dog couples. So again, I use the stick. Wait for their turn, and then I go spare. And that's Dog Eye. So here we have an introduction to knots and X's. Once we get them to knots, we hit the switch and the spikes will fall. There's a hidden switch in this tree that I'm going to use and just walk up to the switch. That puzzle was really hard, wasn't it? I only had to walk a few steps. It's a pretty nice game, yeah. Alright, so here is Papyrus's puzzle. What I'm going to do is say that I don't understand it twice, and that way I won't have to do the color puzzle. If I did say yes, I would have to wait about 15 seconds just for the color puzzle to appear, which just turns into a bridge that you can walk across. So here's Lesser Dog. It's not doing so much. And here is our first skip of the game, if I can get it correctly. So I'm going to set myself up to the right frame so I can hit the switch and continue on at the right time. So let me just get this. And there we go. We skip past the bridge. So what I do there is set myself up to the very end corner of the last X that I have to hit. Then I push down right on my arrow key and then I hold right. So that means when I'm on the switch, I hit the switch, but I don't actually stay on the tile form of that switch so I don't get stuck. So that means I can continue moving onwards. So here's Greater Dog, and there's Greater Dog done. I love dogs, they're great. Animals are great. So we've got one more puzzle to get past from Papyrus. It looks pretty deadly, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. I'll be all good. Especially like the dog. The dog that's hanging there on the right. And we did it. Well, didn't really have to do anything, but we're done. There's Sans. I'm gonna fight you later, bud. Gonna fight you later. And welcome to Snowdon, everyone. We did it. Save, just in case. Here's a little tunnel that helps us proceed further past Snowdon. This was intentionally there just to skip past. You don't have to walk all the way through, it's just slightly faster. So here's one of the hardest bosses in the game, or, well, the boss that you can't actually beat. I haven't met a single speedrunner that was able to beat this one. He's too difficult. Oh, guys, I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know. So you can't actually die to Papyrus, but once you get down to 1 HP, he puts you in your garage, and he built a fence, but the fence doesn't hold us in, so we just, you know, exit. So what I'm actually doing here is not fighting Papyrus, because it's actually slower to fight him than it is to lose to him. If I lose to him 3 times, I can, on the 4th turn that I go to fight him, I can say, I don't want to fight you, let me pass. And that saves about 45 seconds overall. Still don't have game audio, do we? No. Okay. All good? Unless it's a boss monster. Oh, spared Washua. There we go. So there's a slight chance that I could get a menu glitch. A menu glitch is where you push down and Z to flee on the monster, but the game doesn't register your inputs and you accidentally spare, but the next time when you go to your menu, the icon for the heart is on flee. That's what we call a menu glitch, so you should have fleed but you got a spare instead. So here's Undyne. Undyne has found us and she's throwing spears at us, but no need to worry, we just dodge them all in a certain pattern I do. And that's Undyne. This part, there is a chance that you can get hit, but it's very unlikely. So just like before, we're hiding in the tall grass, and Undyne tries to come find us again.
Ladies and gentlemen, cosplay guest, Night Maya, Sam, Vera Kamira, Becky on the main stage taking questions now. Thank you.
Alright. So we didn't get captured by Undyne there, thanks to Monster Kid. There he is. I'm going to save. here's the first time we hear from our best friend Azriel, but if you're casually playing it, I'm assuming you wouldn't know who this character is. And luckily, we landed in a pile of flowers that was in the waterfall garbage area. Oh yes, here we go. I got a glitch called Jesus Frisk. This is where I'm walking on top of the water. It's when you walk off the top frame of the tile and just walk straight onto water. Simple as that. I would skip past Dummy here, but unfortunately Toby Fox decided to put an invisible wall, so it's impossible for me to skip past this fight. So please enjoy. So I'm going to intentionally take damage there. So the cotton balls that shoots at Mad Dummy is what actually does damage to him. I can't actually fight and deal damage to him at all. So these cotton balls are the only way of dealing damage to him. So I know in what way the pattern will go, and I'm going to try and get 5 turns as fast as I can. So this is the 3rd turn, next will be 4th, and the 5th turn will hopefully skip past 6 and 7, and that will be end of Mad Dummy. Right, so here, if I'm lucky, that's 5 cycle. So that's the first half of Mad Dummy. The second half will be just like an auto scroll. I can't really skip past it or go any faster. A lot of people that I've seen in other streams would try to get these rockets to hit Mad Dummy, but you don't actually need them to hit Mad Dummy because they don't do anything to him. You just need to dodge him. Excuse me. So here's the final wave. Oh no, his minions aren't working, so he decides to attack us with a knife. Knives are scary. But you know what? He's out of knife, so thank God we're safe. So it seems like we can't win at all now, but until one of our friends comes along. Who's our friend? And that's Mad Dummy. Oh, it's our friend Blukey. Shoutouts to Blukey. So I've got some more text to mash here, and that'll be about it. I could skip this text here from Blukey, but I don't need to since I'm going to do a safety save just in case, because I can soft lock at any point. Alright. Go back into this room, and I do a wrong warp, and I'm about halfway through this next room already. There we go, another wrong warp. I don't need to see where I'm going, I'll just go wherever I need to. So up ahead we'll have the Undyne fight. I'm going to be try and perform a trick called One Dyne. One Dyne is where we skip past the first 2 encounters with her and only fight her once. But this also skips the cutscene that Undyne would show before we fight her. A lot of people got really confused as to why it was called One Dyne. It was called One Dyne because we skipped the cutscene and fight her once. So I need to go all the way to the right in the dark room and talk to the flower, where Undyne will be waiting behind us. And once again, we're saved by Monster Kid. So about now, about halfway through the run. So what I'm going to do is get a text overflow with the flower here. we go. This is just a safer measure to wrong warp into the next room like that. And then I continue on.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here's Monster Kid, but I don't have time to talk to him, so I skip past him.
please make yourself known to convention center staff. Thank you. Thank you.
First cutscene. There we go. That's one die. So I walk under the W there to make sure that I only fight her once, because Papyrus will give us a phone call, which will make it that she won't walk to us. So we'll be about a couple feet in front of her, and that way we can walk onto the next screen without having to fight her. Intentionally that Undyne walks faster at this point so she can catch up to us, but since we walk under the W, she won't be able to catch us. So what I did there was I acted and challenged her a few times. This speeds up the spears coming towards me, but I simply won't get hit by any of them because I know the pattern will be exactly the same the entire time. So here we have the phone call, and then Undyne comes towards us, and that's it. That's Undyne. Got another skip here to skip past the water skin. There we go. I'm gonna save. Double save. Alright, so this next skip that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some text storage and skip past Alfie's, because we don't need to talk to her. But somehow we've got a phone and she's already texting us even though we never said hi. There we go. Alright, so here's the first monster, the only monster we will kill in the game, which is Vulcan. Yeah, it's sad, but for a neutral run it's required. So that, by doing that, that'll increase our level to 4, which will do the equivalent damage to Asgore as though we ate the pie. So here we have the jump boost, and this lets me go out of bounds. Oh, I spared, that's alright. So now that we're out of bounds, we can go anywhere, but all I need to go is to the next transition, and I need to pick up the burnt pan. I quit the burnt pan, and that's the item we'll be using to fight Asgore. Here we get an introduction to lasers. Red lasers you can walk through, blue lasers you can't, so I have to wait for them. Ran into that one. There we go. And here we would have a puzzle to skip, but since we got a launch pad right here, we don't need that, and we can just go straight past. I missed it, it's alright. There we go. And we just go straight through the door. So here in the dark room, you wouldn't be able to see where anything is, but I know where everything is. I get 2 punch cards that I open there. If you only open 1 punch card, you won't be able to skip that, but I'm not exactly sure for what reason. So when you open up 2 punch cards, you can skip past the jetpack and the Metatime cooking show. So usually after the cooking show, I would continue to move forward, but since I skip past Metatime, I don't have my menu. My menu won't open until I go to this spot here, and I got my menu back. So I'll be going back to this spot about 3 times, and then I'll continue moving forward. Don't have time for elevators. Here's Sans again. By Sans. Alright. So we walk down at the bottom of the screen here. Usually there's a bunch of text that would appear here, but we just skip past it. Also for headphone users on Twitch, watch out for audio. This might get pretty loud.
I'll turn it down.
It's alright, that's all good. So Alphys wants to call us there really badly, but yeah. Skip past this. All done. Who needs puzzles anyway? I'll save. Wrong warp and skip Royal Guards. The next room is a dark room, so I'm going to be counting my steps to skip past this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And we're out of bounds again. Go back into transition, and that's done. That was the Mettaton show, and because we skipped a Mettaton cutscene, we don't have our menu. We don't have our menu because when we do like the Mettaton shows, the game cancels it so you can't open your menu. And when you skip past it, you won't be able to get your menu back unless you finish the show. But luckily for us, there is a flag right here at this bridge that will let us get our menu back, so we can continue moving forward. All right, I'm going to do a save here because I'm doing a lot of wrong warps, and that's really dangerous because it can soft lock easily. So here we overflow. No time for elevators, and we continue moving on. Here's Muffet. Unfortunately, we don't get to fight Muffet, but Muffet's one of my favorite fights. Here is a very precise trick called north-south skip. Didn't get it. There we go, there's 1. And that's 2. So north-south skip is a pretty tricky skip to get because you have to use the punch card, but you also have to close your punch card as fast as you can. I've lost many runs to that. Here you would talk to some spiders about, oh, there's a human with purple stripes shirts going through the underground and they want to kill you. Every monster here wants to kill you, but we don't have time for that, so we just skip past it. This is the Mettaton show, and we skip past him. So you're probably thinking, why am I heading up if I don't have my menu? I need to head up and trigger this cutscene. This cutscene is like a flag for the elevator on the right side to bring me back to level R3. If I didn't go and trigger that cutscene, I would have to go back and skip Muffet and Mettaton all over again. So one more time I have to go back down and get my menuing back so I can do more skips. And that will be Hotlands. There we go.
Oh, it's working.
Working?
I'll turn the audio back up.
Yep, go for it. Save there, save there. So that's Hotlands, and we're coming into the core now. The core is a pretty fast area. There's not too much to it, just a lot of skips, and that's about it, really. So here we skip magic. Usually we'd have a fight there, but we don't have time for it, so we just skip past it. Activate some lasers and walk past it. I can't skip these two, so I just have to mash through it. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, it's this one. There we go. So usually there'd be a lot of lasers there that I can't get through, but I'm able to just skip past them. So I have to go to the left here to do this puzzle. This is the only puzzle that you'll probably see me do. Usually when you interact with it, you would be stuck, but since I overflow it, I can move around at the same time. It's just slightly faster. I'm going to save here just in case, and I'm going to walk backwards, so I'm going to backtrack. So what I'm doing here is a backwards wrong warp. If I do this correctly, it's slightly faster than I'm actually going forwards, and it also skips to the car. I don't want to do that. Accidentally equipped a tough glove. So right, and this elevator will open, and I can go straight to Mettaton fight, and Mettaton fight's done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. So what I did was I skipped Alphys. Usually get a lot of introduction about Alphys. Oh, I messed it up, that's okay. Usually you get a lot of introduction like this for Alphys. If I overflow the elevator, I can skip past it, but I missed that, that's okay. Don't have time for elevators, and that elevator is really long actually. It's about 20 seconds to go up that elevator. Save to save, and here's our new home, or old home. Here I get encounters where the monsters tell the tale of Azrael and the human Kara. Get that text overflow, and what I can do here is get it. Oh, I didn't get it, it's alright. So what I was supposed to do there is skip past this, walk into the next room so that I don't have to sit through it. Skip that. So essentially by doing that skip there, I would have skipped these three, which saves quite a bit of time. But yeah, if there's any donations or anything to say, feel free, because yeah. Go check over there because it's a bit of a quiet section. So there's no fighting here. The monsters will just tell you in detail about what happened to the human and how being underground is affecting their lives. And I don't really care. I just want to leave the underground myself. There we go. I skipped one of the monster encounters because I don't have time for it. Yeah, that's pretty well much Undertale, everyone. Up ahead I've got the Asgore fight, and there's not much too else to say. I hope everyone's enjoyed the run and has been enjoying the event here at AvCon.
Is there a glitchless version of this?
A glitchless?
Like this category?
Yeah, there is a glitchless category, so there's a neutral glitchless and true pacifist glitchless. The glitchless categories involve a lot of mashing. There's some skips that are considered not a glitch because it's just how the game works, but there's a lot of skips that aren't allowed in glitchless. But for a true pacifist glitchless run, I would have to collect several items for the Mettaton fight, which I fight in Core. In the glitchless, I would equip about 6 or 7 items in the Mettaton fight, which would raise my viewership, and that'll help skip the cutscene a lot faster. Or help skip the fight faster. For a neutral glitchless, it's actually faster to do a genocide run, or half genocide. So you would kill everything in the ruins and in Snowden and Waterfall, and once you get to Core, you simply go straight fight Mettaton without killing everything, and that way you will get the Alphys ending. This way, you don't have to fight. It's just so you don't have to go through many of the cutscenes throughout the entire game. So once you're on the genocide route, the game will act a lot differently to what I've done today. So a lot of the things that I've skipped wouldn't be there at all for a genocide route.
Lots of different endings.
Yeah, there's about 96 different endings.
Wow.
96 different endings, and some people have tried to do them all in one sitting, and that's about 35 hours. So here's Sans, but we don't have time for Sans. We'll come back to him later. Do some more wrong warps. And here's the Asgore fight. So this is the end of the underground. So we're at the barrier where we're gonna fight Asgore. Okay. So on the Asgore fight, because I have the Burnt Panda Crypt, there's a chance for me to get critical hits on him. So if you get 4 critical hits on him, we call that a quad, and that does double the damage or nearly triples the damage you would do as a normal attack. So it's quite efficient to get those quads if I can. But it's a frame perfect input, so it's not very easy to do. So that was a quad, so I did 347 damage, which is about 2.5 times more damage than my first attack. So the white bars will light up yellow if I get a critical hit, and they will just stay blue if I don't. So with the pan, it has quite a few different patterns on it. So like each pattern is different whenever I go to fight him. Sometimes it will be the same as the first attack, but most time it's very different. So what we have to do as speedrunners is learn that pattern. So there's about 8 or 10 different patterns. And sometimes it's not very consistent to get a critical hit at all. So that's 3 quads, which is reasonably okay for a speedrun. The best that you can get is 9 in a row. If you get 9 in a row, that's what we call a Tazgore. Tazgore is the perfect fight you could possibly do, and it's humanly possible, but it's just incredibly hard. But maybe about 3 or 4 people have ever done it. I've never been able to do it. And that's Asgore. So we go to fight because it's simply faster to fight him than to spare him. If we do spare him, we have to go through a bit more text, so that's why we go fight him. So for the next about 11 minutes, this fight is going to be an auto-scroller. So there's little that I can do to make it go faster at all. And Flowey here actually closes the game on you, so I have to reopen it myself. Oh, it's Mike Wazowski. Mike Wazowski. He's in here. I didn't know this was Monster Inc. Alright. So here's Flowey. Flowey's our best friend, but he's also trying to kill us. No, it's great. So I can't like mash through this text, I just have to push Z and enter together to continue it. Throughout this fight, there will be 6 cycles. 6 cycles that will represent the hearts of other fallen children in the underground. Let's see. Excuse me. So the hearts represent what weapons you can actually find throughout the underground. So the first one is the what is it? It's the first one's the rubber knife. So first one's rubber knife, second one's a tough glove, third one is the ballet shoe, fourth one is the paper notes, fifth is the burnt pan that I'm using, and the 6th weapon is the gun. So this is Flowey, everyone. Your best friend and your worst nightmare. So I can't do much, but I just have to dodge his attacks and that's about it. So when you get the warning sign and the heart shows up, this is the first cycle. So here's the rubber knife, and an axe screen will show up wherever, well, in generally the same spot. In these phases, I can get his hit as many times as I want, and I won't die. It's a bit of generosity for first time fighting Flowey, and yeah, he can be pretty hard first time casually. So our second phase is the tough glove. As I said, the act button will appear in the same spot as any of these phases. The only spot it doesn't appear in the same spot is when we do the 4th phase. It can either come from the left or the right. It's a 50-50 chance. So here's our third phase with the ballet shoes. All I have to do is stay in the top right of under here and mash Enter and Z to get the act button. If I miss that act button, I'll have to do another cycle of fighting Flowey, and that wouldn't be too good. So for the next phase, everyone, which side do you think the act button's going to appear? Left or right? Left? Alright, I'll go to the left. Alright, here we go, guys. So we're all gone left. And it was on the right. Aww. Bummer. I blame you, Oliver. I blame you, Oliver. It's all good. All good. So we've got 2 more phases and then we can actually fight him. So here's our bird pan. What we can do is just go up and top above them and not take any damage at all. But the yak button will appear in the second pan, the middle one. So I can just sit here and just take damage and I won't die. I just sit there, get healed up. Pretty simple. So the last phase, I'm just going to hold down right to put myself in the bottom right corner of the screen. The gun will shoot 8 times and then the act button will appear from that. There we go. I don't have to move anything, and what I'm going to do is wait for the heart icon to turn blue, and then I'm going to close the game and reopen it. That way, it skips a cutscene where the hearts of the other children come and heal you, and that way I can actually fight Flowey. So this time I'm actually doing massive damage. So 172, 193, instead of like 5 damage earlier before. So it's very important that I don't die to this fight, but it's very unlikely because I need to get hit about 15 times to actually die, and the health bar below isn't very accurate at all. Every time I get one of the green items that heal me, I believe it adds another 4 or 5 hits onto me, but I'm not 100% sure. So since this fight is an auto-scroller, most runners would know when they will get a new personal best in their run or not after the Asgore fight. So that's the Flowey fight, and that's pretty much the end of Undertale. I've only got a few more texts to go through and walk to the end. Oh, get the mouse off there, that's right. So time will be coming up in about a minute. Subway now is pretty good. So I can move my heart to close to these pedals that are around me. If I set myself up right next to them, and when he comes in to attack me, it'll just cancel that straight away. So go act, no one hears me, and that's it. And that's it. That's just about Undertale. I don't have to do anything else now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I can move around and do whatever I want, but I just have to wait for this cutscene to end. Might not be some 1 hour. Move across to the right, mash into Z, get the cutscene, time's coming up shortly, open game, and time. That's Undertale. I did get sub 1 hour. Sweet. Did we get the what was it? The donation incentive for? Didn't get it. I'll just do it anyway. Yeah. Dude, don't know how much time do we have? About six to 10 minutes. Needs to be over there now. Okay. Sorry, I can't do the sands fight, guys. Don't have time for it. Nah, unfortunately. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy AdCon. GG. Hold on. You can change it back to yeah.